Jessica Davies. I'm an investigative journalist, and today we're going to be talking about the Summer Wells case and also the Brian Laundrie case. If you have not seen it, I just did a premiere on the letter that Don Wells allegedly wrote, and I'm very interested to get your opinion. So we're going to be doing an interactive chat. I've got my notes here with some great information. I did some research on some stuff. We're also going to be talking about Brian Laundrie's letter and a little bit about the Petito Schmidt lawsuit against Chris and Roberta Laundrie. So I'm really curious to get your opinions on everything. If you are just joining me, you need to be subscribed for 60 seconds to join the live chat. This is for subscribers. Anyone can watch, but 60 seconds is not a long time. By the time you hit the subscribe button and start typing your comment, your 60 seconds will probably be up. Pat Wicks is here. Hello. Anna D is here. Welcome. Rianne Evans is here. So glad to see you. Charlotte Lovato is here. Holly Golightly, Anna D, Bonnie Bailey, and Jakey5 are all in the house. Please give this video a thumbs up and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. I have a fan running today because it's like 100 degrees out. And I'm hot. I have the air running, but I put the fan on too. Let's see who else is here. Rihanna's here. So I'm curious what you guys think. Who do you think wrote that letter? Because I've heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, it couldn't have been Dawn because there we go. It couldn't have been Dawn because the handwriting's different." But my thought on that is that, yeah, the handwriting is different. You're right. But one is printed and one is cursive. So to me, that doesn't really rule it out because my cursive handwriting and my print handwriting will vary a lot. What about you guys? Let's see what you guys have to say. Jakey, oh, thank you, Bonnie. I am feeling better. Oh, yes. For you guys that don't know, I was really sick. And I really, really was under the weather. And just even when I stopped with the coughing and all the stuff, and I can't say what I was sick with on YouTube because they don't allow you to talk about it. But even when I was done with the coughing, I still had it. They said, "Oh, you'll be better in 2 weeks." I don't know. Maybe if you're like 20 years old, you'll be better in 2 weeks. But I don't know. I didn't feel better in 2 weeks. It took me weeks to feel better. So you can still hear I still have a little bit of congestion, but it's doing a lot better. On Monday, before I forget to tell you, we are doing Munchausen by proxy and Munchausen Monday series. So it's Munchausen Murder Mondays. And we're starting that this Monday. And the first case we're going to start with is the Gypsy Rose Dee Dee Blanchard case. So I'm super interested to hear what you guys think about that case. I have put together a really interesting video delving into what happened. And we're going to be doing that case for a couple of Mondays. So I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. And just like today, I'm putting the video out and then I'm following it immediately with a live stream so I can hear from you guys what your thoughts are. Okay, so Bonnie is here. Holly Golightly's here, Anna D's here, Rianne's here, Jakey5 is here. Rianne says, "I think that the Petito Schmidt family are going forward." You are right. I have a statement from them. Let's see. They said in regards to the Brian Laundrie letter, Patrick Riley is their lawyer, and he put out a statement on behalf of the Petito Schmidt family and said that the Laundries claim that doing away, I'm using my own words there, with Gabby was, quote, merciful and stemmed from a tragic accident is nonsense. And, quote, he is writing a letter as though he wants people to feel sorry for him, the lawyer said. And he also added that there was nothing that could make the Petito family feel better about the Brian Laundrie letter. And so the Petito family, for those of you that don't know, they are taking steps to bring a lawsuit against Brian Laundrie's family. They're going to take it to trial. And they are alleging in the letter that that the Laundrie parents, Chris and Roberta, knew what Brian had done what Brian had done to Gabby. And for those of you that don't know about that case, Gabby Petito disappeared. She was on a van life trip with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. And Brian Laundrie came back without Gabby. And after a massive manhunt, they found him a month later, deceased in October at the Maikiachi Creek Environmental Park in Florida. So the parents have claimed that Brian knew that their son did this to Gabby and that he allegedly told them on August 28th, before Gabby's mom even knew that Gabby was missing. Because remember, he sent out those fake texts. The Laundries tried to have the lawsuit dismissed under they have fundamental constitutional rights to silence, but the judge said nope, nope. And the quote from the said, had the Laundries truly stayed silent, this is from the judge, the court would have granted the motion to dismiss in the Laundries' favor. But as alleged as by the plaintiffs, the Laundries made their case known that Gabby was dead, knowing the location of her body and knowing that her parents were frantically searching for her. So if this is true, then the Laundrie statement was particularly callous and cruel. This is coming from the judge, callous and cruel, and it is sufficiently outrageous to state claims for infliction of emotional distress. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the letter that Dawn Wells wrote. Let's see who else is joining us. If you're just joining us, please give this video a thumbs up and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. To join the chat, you just need to be subscribed for 60 seconds. So by the time you hit the subscribe button and start writing your comment, your 60 seconds will be up. Brienne says, oh, shoot, I went by. Okay, Brienne says, I think so, to Cynthia. Okay, so let's see what you guys have to say. Let's start with Summer Wells, and then we'll delve more into the Brian Laundrie letter too, because I just premiered a Summer Wells video. And if you haven't watched it after the live stream is over, you'll want to go over and watch that next. Rose said it was professionally analyzed by a handwriting specialist who said it's not his handwriting. I agree with that, Rose, but it could have been still dictated to the media manager. And also, those are not 100% infallible. You can get different handwriting experts will say different things. So I do think if you have ever looked, even like, does your signature look the same every single time you write it? Mine doesn't. And when I print and then I write in cursive, my handwriting looks different. So I don't know. Yes, Rianne, it was. But I can't say that word on the air. Yes, it was. Cynthia Burke said, I'm going to guess media manager Tim wrote it. Yeah, I suspect you're right, Cynthia. That makes sense. Rianne agrees with Cynthia. And Purple Summer Moon Extract, hi, welcome. Roxanne is here. Brianne is here. Charlotte Lovato is here. Cynthia Berg. Steve Johnson did a great analysis of the letter about Summer. Was that on his own channel, or did he do that on the Chris McDonough channel, Cynthia? Curious. Phoenix is here. They 100% knew. Yeah, they knew. I think you're right. I think the Brian Laundrie parents did know. We're going to do that case second. So we're going to start right now first with Summer Wells. If you're just joining me, we're going to be talking about letters. It's letter day on Reporter Room. And we're going to be talking about the Brian Laundrie letter in a few moments. But we're going to start with the Dawn Wells letter. Do you think that Dawn Wells wrote the letter, or do you think he dictated it to his media manager, Tim Mullen? What do you guys think? Brienne says they absolutely knew. That's why he lawyered up. I think so too. They lawyered up really fast, and that's the Brian Laundrie case. Marilyn Landis says, thanks to Red, White, and Bethune spotting the van. You betcha. Social media played a critical role in solving the Brian Laundrie Gabby Petito case. So for those of you who think, oh, we can't make a difference, yes, we can. And even with Summer Wells, I think you guys have done a great job of helping to keep her name out there. And I don't hold out a lot of hope at this point of how we're going to find Summer. That's something that's weighed heavily on my mind, but I do feel like I hope that we do find her. Patricia Root said, I'm so glad you're feeling better. I didn't get better in 2 weeks either. Some people, it lasts longer. Yeah, I don't know why. I think they just tell you 2 weeks. The other thing I learned the kind of the hard way is I initially went to the emergency room. And if you guys do have to go to the emergency room and you're having, breathing difficulties, you're short of breath, I highly, highly recommend that you do have someone with you to advocate for you, because you may not have the energy to advocate for yourself. And you do want to make sure that whoever's providing you the care is looking at your labs. I had blood work taken when I first arrived. And when the doctor, it was actually a doctor's assistant that came in. So it was a physician assistant, which is a nurse with a PhD, came in. The nurse with the PhD, the physician assistant, had not even looked at my labs. And I was kind of shocked that nobody had looked at my labs, because that's going to give you a lot of important information, and was coming in to decide what they were going to do with me without even looking at those. You do need someone to advocate for you. That's just a personal little tip. If you're just joining me, please give me a thumbs up on this video and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe to join the top chat. Anyone can comment in the regular chat, and you just need to be subscribed for only 60 seconds. So thank you, Patricia. I am glad I'm feeling better too. I'm sorry that you were sick as well. Charlotte Levada said, I believe the Laundries knew. Anna D said, I believe the parents knew what he had done. I think so too, Anna D. Roxanne said, I feel like Brian was writing a book. Yeah, that was a really bizarre letter, wasn't it? I'm going to read a little bit of it in a few minutes. Just Doing Meh is here. Hello, welcome. Charlotte Levada said, she agrees with Anna D. Marilyn Linda says, heard grandma's trailer was moved off the Wells property. No kidding. Wow, I've heard a rumor, and I have not been able to independently verify this, but I heard a rumor that Ben Hill Road was possibly going up for sale. So I don't know. I haven't been able to independently confirm it, but I have a feeling they might be going to sell that property. Rianne Evans says the handwriting expert has seen it and says yes. Cynthia Berg says on his own channel. Thank you, Cynthia. Holly Go Lightly says Truth to Lies channel. Thanks, Holly. So if you want to see Steve Johnson's thing, you can go to Truth to Lies and see that. Mississippi Girl says hello. Bonnie Bailey, that's probably the way it was done. And Tim challenged a few things. Just Doing Meg sends heart for Summer. Rianne Evans says the letters were sold to a newspaper in the UK. So they made money off the letters. Wow. That's kind of, if the money's going to help, with searching or something like that, or to a charity, I agree with that. Bonnie Bailey said, I think that the son bought them. I wonder who got paid. And which letters are you guys talking about? Are you talking about Don Wells? Patricia Root said, I think there is still talking about Summer as a 5-year-old in past tense as always. Yeah, they started, Don and Candus were talking about past tense Summer Wells in the very first interview, which was done about 3 weeks after she disappeared. So yeah, great point. Rianne Evans says, the only way Summer will be found is when someone tells the TBI. Yeah, I think you're right, Rianne. I think that they had experience with what happened to Rose. This isn't their first rodeo. Cheryl Lovato said, I think Tim Mullen wrote the letter. I think you might be right, Charlotte. I think he may have Don may have dictated it to him over the phone, and he wrote it out and put it out. Rianne says, nurses don't look at things today. I think the nurse was looking at stuff. That's how I knew my labs were done. It was the nurse. I don't know if they call it a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant, but it's a nurse with 9 years of schooling, so like a PhD or a master's degree, that was in the room, and that person had not looked at the labs. So yeah, it's really, you do need somebody to advocate for you if you're going into the emergency room. Just a little tip. I hope it protects somebody. So let's get back to the Summer Wells case. So I'm like kind of curious. So first of all, I just want to say that everything that I'm sharing with you, everything that my top chat is sharing with you, everything is our opinion, and opinions are not facts. So please don't send any negativity to anyone, anytime, anywhere. I want to thank our subscribers, our channel members, and our producers. And welcome everybody. Please give this video a thumbs up and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to join the top chat, you just need to be subscribed for 60 seconds. And you, by the time you subscribe and start writing out your comment, your 60 seconds will be up. So it's pretty fast. Phoenix, that I think so. You're right. Bonnie Bailey heard that too. Roxanne Williams says, not only was Granda's trailer moved, it was reported it was sold. Wow. And I can't even imagine like who would want to buy that trailer, but you know, I guess somebody could buy it and clean it out. My Insane World is here. Bonnie Bailey says yes. Patricia Root said yes, it took me forever to feel better. I'm so glad you're feeling better too, Patricia, and I'm sorry that you went through that. Rianne Evans says Tim Mullen or A.F. Pennington were the two involved in this. So I'm curious what you guys think. So, yeah, it was, I think it probably may have been either, I suspect it was dictated to Tim Mullen by Dawn. Maybe they concocted the letter together and Tim Mullen wrote it out and then put it out there, which is why he didn't sign Don Wells' name. He signed Summer's father. So why do you think that Candus and Grandis would not be included in the letter? Because I would think that they would be included. I mean, that's Summer's mother and grandmother. He only signed it Summer's father. And I found that very interesting too. Do you think there's been a falling out there? And I also, and this is my opinion and my theory, everything I'm saying is my opinion, but my opinion is that I think that Dawn put that letter out because there's reward money on the line. There's around $75,000 in reward money on the line. And I think that he is trying to get the reward money, and or they're trying to get a deal for the movie rights. And I just really kind of feel sick to my stomach. I think the reward money should either go to Summer's brothers, or maybe it should go to another missing child, or maybe it should be held in trust for Summer for searchers to hire another rescue team to look for her so we can find her. What do you guys think should happen to that 75-ish, give or take a few dollars, money? Anna D says, I don't know who wrote the letter, but the mention of Summer's education being taken away is very strange. Don Wells said he hopes that she is not being held in a basement. Yeah, that was just, again, I feel like he was trying to distract Anna, don't you, from what's really going on with Summer. I think he was just distracted. Holly Golightly said, is answering Rianne Evans. Yes, they both were. Rianne Evans agrees with her. Holly says they're going to make a movie selling the letters here and there. Candus doesn't like them. Yeah, I think you're onto something, Holly. I think that there may be going to be a movie made, or at least they're going to make an effort to try to sell the rights for a movie. And do you remember when Candus released all those pictures of Summer? And then a couple of months ago, we got a notification from Candus on her YouTube channel or a statement that she put out that she didn't want us using those pictures of Summer anymore. I think around the time that Tim Mullen came on board as the media manager for Dawn Wells, he put a stop to having those letters be read, or I'm sorry, having those photos be seen on the air, because his thought is, ding, money, and he can make money from selling those photographs, just like he sold the letter, he can make, allegedly, maybe, possibly, in my opinion, um, he can make money from selling those photographs also. Because if you think about the Casey Anthony case, somebody made a lot of money selling Kaylee's photographs to various news outlets, extras that they could print and use. So I think Candus, I mean, the cat's out of the bag with those photos anyway. By the time she was like telling people she didn't want them used anymore, I think they had been used thousands of times. But I think that's one of the reasons that she put that announcement out. What do you guys think? Do you think that could possibly be the case? Do you think that maybe she put that announcement out because she wanted to make some money off of selling those photos? And, media manager Tim and Dawn thought that would be a good possibility. What do y'all think? Holly said thinks they're going to make a movie, selling the letters here and there. Candus does not like Tim. I get that feeling too. I mean, she's kind of said it like she doesn't know it, probably because he's trying to control the situation. Mind Say World is talking to Tara. Let's see. Cynthia Berg says, why would Dawn and Candus think that they're entitled to the reward money? That is a great question, Cynthia. I mean, obviously, I don't think they are entitled to the reward money. Do you guys think they should just be gifted it? But Candus has not gotten a job that I know of. And come on, she can get a job. If Dawn Wells can get a job with his background and record, she has experience drywalling. She could get a job too. So there's no reason that she can't be working, and she doesn't have any of the kids. And what do you guys think about the fact that, she's, came on here with her hand out right when Dawn went into jail. She hasn't gotten a job that we know of. She doesn't have any kids to take care of, but she was too busy to show up for her boys in court. What kind of parent doesn't go to court to try to get their kids back? The kids they profess to love more than anything. It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. Rian says, I think that the money should be in an estate for Summer's brothers. I think that would be a really good thing to use it for at this point. And Bonnie said, let me see. Donna Barnes says that she thinks that Tim Mullins is trying to sell it to Netflix. He's talked about it. So it's very possible, Donna. Charlotte says, yes, Kay, I absolutely agree. It should go into a trust fund for the boys. Bonnie says, I think Tim Mullen bought the rights. I heard it somewhere, not sure where. I have not heard that. I have not heard that. So I'll try to see if I can confirm that, Bonnie. Cynthia Berg says, yes, for the boys. Truth Seeker is here. Hi, Truth Seeker. Typical narcissism, sense of entitlement. I think this was all planned. It's all for the money, for those shady, evil characters. Patricia Root said, something's going on up there on that hill. And yes, the separating Candus Wells and Grandis from that letter. I thought they gave some money from the reward. That letter was all about them and their messed up life. That, boy, Patricia, you said it. You said it. And Charlotte says, she agrees Dawn and Candus should not get the money. That's ridiculous. Rianne Evans says, within a few days, A.F. Pennington had all the photographs of Summer on her profile. Maybe she and Tim Mullen were involved in Summer's disappearance. I don't know. I mean, we don't know what happened to Summer. If you're just joining us and you want to join the top chat, you just need to be subscribed for 60 seconds. By the time you're done writing your comment, you can join the top chat. Please give this video a thumbs up and help us with the YouTube algorithm. I don't know. My top 3 suspects, and I'm curious to hear who yours are. I am still on the fact that I believe that it was some kind of an accident due to probably negligence, and that it was covered up. And so my top 3 suspects have always been the last people, or the people who were living in that house at the time Summer disappeared. I believe my top suspect is Candus, Grandis, and then I think that Dawn is also a suspect, because I'm not 100% sure he didn't come back to the house at some point. I don't know that Candus didn't drive off to meet Dawn, since we haven't seen the phone records and because we haven't heard that 911 call. If Dawn wasn't involved, he may have guilty knowledge. But my top three are still Dawn, Candus, and Grandis. Who are your top three suspects? Leave me your comments in the section and I will read them out. Truth Seeker is like, hail to the no. They should not get it. Donna Rush says no. Brienne says, I think they are peripheral people, could be. J.S. Bailey, Hunter, etc. I mean, Hunter wasn't old enough to drive, so unless Candus went back to get him that day, which we, from the one message from the Hun Sum text that I did a video on, unless Candus went back and got him, which is possible, I think it would be harder. But I do think he was at the swimming hole that day, so it does make me wonder if something, I still think something happened at the swimming hole. I don't think she was being watched at the swimming hole. Even the way Candus's, when she described, Hunter, and she said she felt like, things were slowing down when she was trying to describe what happened with Chris McDonough, makes me think that there was some kind of a traumatic event at the swimming hole that day. And I still believe something went wrong and that maybe it was a case of secondary or dry drowning. Then they didn't want to lose the boys, so they covered it up and still ended up losing the boys. Bonnie Bailey, no way, they haven't done anything to deserve the money. Case Lynn says the money, they have no reason to get it. They haven't found Angel Summer. Rian says, imagine the kids. I know, imagine the boys knowing that your mom didn't show up at your hearing. They had a hearing and she didn't show up. I can't even imagine how heartbreaking that would be for the boys to just have your mom not show up. How would that make you feel if that was your mom that did that? If you're just joining us, you can join the top chat. You just need to be subscribed for 60 seconds. And please give this video a thumbs up and help me with the YouTube algorithm. So on Monday, we're going to be starting a new series called Munchausen Monday. It's mostly Munchausen's by proxy cases. And the first case we're starting with is the very crazy, bizarre case of Gypsy Rose and Dee Dee Blanchard. And and Nick Godejohn, and I'm really curious. I'm putting a video out, and just like I put the video out first today, I'm going to also go right into a live stream right after that to hear your opinion on what you think about the case. So remember, Candus told the YouTube creators to stop using those Summer Wells photographs, and I believe that that was because she was planning to sell those online. So is this because Dawn is going to sell them to the news outlet? Is this because Tim Mullen plans to sell Summer's story to Netflix? Is this the reason that Dawn is suddenly putting out these letters that were probably dictated to Tim Mullen? What do you guys think about that? I'm really curious to hear your opinion. Pineapple Pam is here. She said the reward money is for info leading to finding Summer. So far, no one has info leading to her whereabouts. Ineligible. Great point, Pam. Bonnie Bailey says, breaks my heart. Can't imagine how the boys feel. Holly Golightly says, 100% agree with Pineapple Pam. Rianne Evans says, he has the domain rights for Summer and Michael Vaughn. Yeah, that was so shady, Rianne. You're right. And she's talking about Tim Mullins went in and grabbed up some of the .com things for Michael Vaughn. He was trying to get Brandy to hire him as his media manager, and she didn't hire him. But he grabbed up domain names, even though he was not hired and had no business doing that. Pineapple Pam says, hi. Charlotte Lovato says, disgusting using those children to make money. Makes me so mad. And My Insane World, Tara says, who would have sold the rights to Tim? Wouldn't Dawn and Candus both have to sign off on the rights? Not necessarily. I think you could get just one parent to sign off until they're part of the story. Cynthia Burke says Tim Mullen did a video that had a creepy part where he's talking about Summer running down the hill into his arms. Yeah, Tim Mullen just creeps me out. I think because I don't understand why the Wells need a media manager. I've never heard of parents of missing children needing a media manager unless they were somehow trying to cash in on the fact that their child has gone missing, which to me just feels cold-hearted and awful. Um, so I think the funds should either be put in trust for the boys or used to hire a new search team to go out and try to investigate what happened, tracking down all of the leads and try to investigate. I think that would be a good use of the money. What do you guys think about that idea? Jakey5 says, I agree, Candace, Grandis, and Dawn. So those are his. Anna D says, Dawn, Candace, and Grandma. Cynthia Burke says, Dawn, Candace, and Tim. Pineapple Pam, same theory as mine. Donna Rush says, same, Candace, Grandis, and Dawn. Kay Sloan, Candace, Jody Sue Brown, and Grandis. Oh, so, okay, I know a lot of people do suspect Jody Sue Brown. And boy, I don't think she's done herself any favors with her YouTube channel output. I don't think she was directly involved, but I think she shot herself in the foot with her YouTube channel. What do you guys think about Jody Sue Brown? And if you think she's a suspect, please in the comments tell me why. If you want to join the top chat and leave me a comment, all you got to do is be subscribed for 60 seconds. And by the time you're done typing, your 60 seconds should be up. Truth Seeker also says Candace, Grandis, and Donna responsible, but I don't believe it was an accident. I think Tim squeezed in for money later. He is using the Wells as a cash cow. That's very compelling. Truck driver Mish says, my top 3 suspects are Dawn, Candace, and Grandis. Roxanne says, Rianne, who has the domain rights to Michael? Tim Mullen does, Roxanne. He's not the only one. I mean, Brandy has some too, but he went in there and grabbed up some of the domains for Michael, even though Brandy had not agreed to have him as the media manager. He just went in and grabbed them. Rianne says, Tim Mullen. Cynthia Bergs is talking to Charlotte. Donna Rush says, also, H said he went under the water to get Summer. Sounds like she was in deeper water. Yeah, I agree. He said he had to go get her. So my question is, we know they got stopped off and got that twisted tea. There's also been reports now that Hunter wasn't the only young man hanging out at 110 Ben Hill Road while Dawn was in Utah. So why was Hunter really there? And what was Candace really doing with Hunter? And we know Summer was a little 5-year-old girl swimming in a dank watering hole without a lifeguard, even though Warriors Path State Park has a swimming pool with lifeguards they could have gone to. And, my question was, she didn't have a flotation device on, so there was no safety vest. That's what we call it in our family. It's a little life vest we put on the kids. And we put that on the kids, and we're watching the kids when they're swimming. We don't just put it on the kids and leave our kids unattended. We watch the kids with a fun vest, which is just a life preserver. It's like a ski jacket, a smaller life preserver. She didn't have any flotation device. She didn't have a car seat. So we have a 5-year-old with no car seat. We have a 5-year-old swimming in a dark, dank watering hole that could not swim, who may or may not have been supervised, and who was not wearing any type of flotation device. And we have a 5-year-old that Candace couldn't be bothered to buy lunch for. But we're supposed to buy that Candace was fixing Grandis's knee brace at the time that Summer disappeared and watch Summer carefully as she walked back into the house. Are you buying this? I don't buy it. Sherry LaFleur says, agreed. Individuals of interest, Scamdus, Grandis, and Dondus. I'm laughing because I just think the Scamdus is, I haven't heard that before. Their silence Deflection speaks volumes. Holly Golightly says Dawn, Grandis, Candus in that order, but there are others in the periphery who know and probably helped. So Cynthia Berg says it was a terrible tragedy. Anna D said there should be an animal park in Summer's name. That would be beautiful. That's another thing they could do with that money is put up some kind of a playground and dedicate it to Summer. Rianne Evans says there are a few things flying around that the boys were in KI. Clef, hunched, hair, hold. Oh, yeah, I've heard that too. Rianne. I've heard that too. He is creepy. Charlotte Lovato says, awesome. Anna D, that would be awesome. Truth Seeker said, I think the reward money should go to the boys and used for top psychiatrists, therapists, and counselors after what they've endured. I love that idea. What do you guys think about that idea? Holly Golightly says, why is there an IMDb on Summer Wells? Yeah, somebody's reserved the rights to it because, and I suspect we're probably going to find out it's Tim Mullen cashing in. And I don't have a problem if they want to sell it and they want to use the money to hire searchers or use the money to fund something on her behalf, a scholarship fund to a college or put in trust for the boys. But I do have a problem if it's going into Dawn and Candace's pocket. Rianne Evans says they chose a media manager and Benny. Charlotte Lovato with waterfalls, her favorite thing. Oh, I love that idea. Shishi for Life says, yes, I also agree. Donna Barnes says, I hope the three boys get adopted to a wonderful family. I hope so, too. Pineapple Pam says her cameras were taken down the day before the disappearance. Are you talking about Jody Sue, Pam? Because, yeah, I heard that, too. She just, I don't know. I think the biggest mistake she made was coming on to starting a YouTube channel because she kind of put herself in the line of fire there. Bonnie Bailey, Jody Sue is involved somehow, just too much to blame on the others. And Bobby Fiesel says, I feel sad for the boys if they know that one of their parents didn't show up for court. I do too, Bobby. I do too. Rianne Evans says, I do too. And she's talking to Donna. What they went through in their house, and I'm watching my words here, is incomprehensible. Yeah, I think that's one thing that we did learn a lot about what these kids went through in their house, and it was just really, really sad. So we've heard now that from Emma at CSO that there were other boys besides Hunter hanging around at 110 Ben Hill Road. What do you guys, being careful of what you write, what do you guys think about the fact that now we're learning that there were other underage kids hanging out at 110 Ben Hill Road? Do you think this is a rumor? Because I have not been able to independently substantiate that. It doesn't mean it's not true, but it also doesn't mean that it's true. It could just be somebody, trying to get some attention. And I don't mean Emma. I just mean somebody in the Wells orbit. They didn't exactly surround themselves with the very best people, did they? I think that's one of the things that's been like the most haunting about this case for me. And I don't know about, if you guys feel the same way, but one of the most haunting things for me has been that just the people that they chose to let into their lives. Seeing, the people that were hanging out in the periphery of this case, it's really disturbing. Dawn Sherfy is sketchy, according to Rianne Evans says. Charlotte Lovato says, I'm not sure if Jody Sue is involved, but she sure is making a lot of money on her Cash App PayPal account. Roxanne Williams said, all that trash at the swimming hole with a bunch of twisted tea cans, which Candace says those were already there. Yeah, right, Candace, she says. Jody Sue inserting herself into the case, very sus. Bobby Fiesel says, in my opinion, Jody knows something. Kay Sloan says, I'm that one guy. I'm like that one guy. Angel Summer is up on the property. I don't know because I've heard that property may be going up for sale. Have you heard about that? I have not been able to independently confirm that, but I've heard that 110 Ben Hill Road. The reason Grandis's camper is gone, the reason that Candace is gone is because that property may be going up for sale. We know that Don was wanting to move to Utah earlier, so it's possible that he did want the property to go up, put it up for sale, so he can go. Juanita Richards said the boys might be glad Candace didn't turn up at the hearing. They may never want to go home again or to see their parents again. It could be, Juanita. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that most kids do want to have some kind of relationship with their mother, or at least do want to know their mother is trying for them. Like if she would have, Candace had a great opportunity when Dawn went into prison. That was her opportunity to get her life together. And she had offers to pay for her to go to rehab. Could have gone to do rehab. She could have gone into counseling, and she could have really worked, gotten her own place separate from 110 Ben Hill Road, and really worked to get those boys back. And I think if she had taken, a couple of steps toward getting the boys back, I think that um, it would have made a big difference from the boys' point of view on how they, view her now and in the future. Anna D said, why did Candus Wells freak out at the mention of the cornbread mafia when she said she didn't know what it was? Okay, so my theory on that has always been that it didn't have anything to do with cornbread mafia. My theory has on the cornbread mafia reaction that we got from Candus um, was that this trick that she and Dawn played on Dawn's stepsister Mary, and she called Mary fake crying, and this one is when we learned, what a good actress Candace was, and she called Mary fake crying and lying, and said that Dawn had been taken by the mafia, the Mexican mafia, but she messed up because she wasn't sober, and she messed up and she said, and he had also been arrested by the police in the same conversation. So that was kind of a giveaway. When I first heard the first part of the video, I was buying it because Candace is blubbering. She's crying. She sounds so sincere. So I think while she was sitting on the Dr. Phil show, the Cornbread Mafia got a massive reaction out of Candace, not because of Summer, but because Candace was absolutely terrified that Dr. Phil was going to bring up that scam that she and Dawn ran on his stepsister Mary about Dawn being taken by the Mexican mafia. I think she got worried for herself, because the only time I've seen Candace and Dawn really well up with any kind of feelings is when they're talking about themselves. That's my opinion. Um, so that's what I think, Anna, to make a short story long. And so for those of you, we're going to be doing the Brian Laundrie letter in just a minute, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that. Juanita said, if the boys know their parents are lying about what happened to Summer, they may be too scared to see them again. Yeah, great point. That really is a great point. Bobby Fizel says, I think if it's Candus Bly, Grandam, and Dawn, I do believe others know the truth. Vegan Claire says, in my opinion, Candace and Grandis were grooming. Oh, wow. Okay, I have to watch my words here. Oh, wow, Vegan. That's really interesting theory. I think a lot of people feel like the same way that you do, that there was something, possibly going on there. And I've also heard rumors, and tell me if you've heard about this, that Allie lost custody of her kids. And has anybody heard anything about that? If you have, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Or if you want to talk to me directly, you can subscribe. And after 60 seconds, you can join us on the top chat. Superhero Loves Akita says, due to the boys being in foster care, they're ineligible for money, period. And the court is allegedly going to decide about the reward. The family could not get the money, period. Thank you, Superhero. My Insane World Terror. Candace has the mental age of a teenager, and I think she liked younger. Okay, because she had the control. I'm watching my words here. Candace was always with older men, so I can see her wanting to get involved with somebody younger. Monty Bailey says, I hear that that they want to use the $75,000 to pay for lawyers. That would be like not the good way to spend the money. Holly Golightly said, I saw the photos, teens and smoking and drinking, totally inappropriate. I agree, Holly. I saw photos too. I just couldn't tell from the photos what the age was. And I thought, well, they could be 18. I just wasn't for sure. Marilyn Landis says, didn't hear about the sale of the property. I've just heard rumors. I heard that that's why Grandis's trailer was sold, and that's why Candus left, and that the Ben Hill Road was going up for sale, that Don wants to go to Utah if he gets out. Rhiannon Evans says, it's a recent thing that Don wanted to sell the house, as she has no rights to it, as they are not married. So we have pictures of Don and Candus allegedly at a wedding. But you don't think that they are legally married? You think maybe they just have like a civil union? That's interesting. Juanita Richards says, I was talking to My Insane World. Bonnie Bailey says, I think so too, Jessica. If she made an effort, it would have helped her so much. Too late now. Bonnie Fusel said, I saw a picture of another young guy with Candus. The kids were in the background. That is so sad. Roxanne says, I think you're right about that. Those boys might be scared to go back home. Pam Davidson says, I had not great parents. I prayed to be removed. I want no contact as soon as I was able. Regarding the boys, they may be happy that they're out. That's really interesting. Really interesting. Rianne says, those boys must need a lot of therapy if they will ever get over it. That's where the money could really be used in a positive way, right? Is for the boys, for therapy or for college, something like that. Kay Sloan said, one of the boys said they were not going back there. Charlotte Levada said, I'm so sorry, Pam. I can't imagine what you went through. Juanita Richard says, to Pam, I left home at 14, had a job and a flat. I never lived at home again. Wow, Juanita. You sound like a really strong person. Jakey5 says, yes, I believe she lost custody. He's talking about Allie. I don't know why. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the why of Allie losing custody of her kids. But I did hear that she did lose custody. And it was weird because we were all asking where H was all summer. And we never really got just a totally straight answer. And maybe that is why. Maybe he was taken into custody and then ultimately she ended up losing it. Silvertongue Slacker said, and everything I'm sharing is my opinion. I do not have that independently confirmed. Silvertongue Slacker says they should do park benches like the one they made for Gabby. Oh, I love that idea. May says, hi, everyone. The hills have eyes and the Ben Hill has lies. Oh, wow. That's great, May. Rhiannon Evans says, they went through the ceremony but never signed any documents. Oh, okay. That's interesting, Rhiannon. Thank you for sharing that. So Rhiannon is saying that she does not think that the summer parents, Don and Candus, were actually ever legally married. Jakey5 says a marriage certificate was on another YouTube channel. So we just don't know. At this point, we just don't know. And Charlotte Levada says, oh, I heard about Allie losing custody. My Insane World Terra says, I have heard that they were married and I heard they were not. So who knows? Yeah, hopefully we'll find out. When the Ben Hill property gets sold, and I think it's in Don's name, if they are married, Candus will be entitled to a portion of that. If they're not married, she probably will not be. Kay Sloan said they are married. A channel on YouTube found the marriage license. Thank you, Kay. My Insane World is talking to Juanita. Brian Evans says, it's because there were rats in the house and Allie couldn't look after the children. Ugh. Can you imagine letting your house get to the point where there are rats in your house? Rats. Ugh, that's so bad. Daydream Believer says, why can't money be put in trust for the boys? I think it's going to be up to a judge where the money goes. But I agree. I think that the money, around $75,000 ish. I think it's just under that, but it's around there. I think it could. I think it should. That would be great. Anna D says, hopefully Don Wells is preparing for his new permanent home in a prison in Utah. So do you guys think he's going to get extradited to Utah? Because I haven't seen any additional charges being filed against him, and I thought there were going to be by this point. Marilyn Linda says they need to tear down that house. Yeah, if I were buying that property, I definitely think the house would be a tear down. Silver Tongue Stalker says, it's common law marriage. I have one as well, 16 years. Thanks, Silver Tongue. Roxanne Williams says, I heard on another channel Allie lost her kids because she couldn't afford to take care of them. Don't know how true it is. And also, there is a marriage certificate on file for Dawn and Candus. So we have all kinds of opinions on the marriage on file for Dawn and Candus. I think they probably were married. I saw pictures at a courthouse. I can't imagine going to the courthouse, going through the ceremony and not signing the papers. But, I could be wrong. Truth Seeker said, who would want to go back to that toxic cesspool? I pray they have gotten a taste of how a normal home is. She's talking about the boys and never want to go back. Superhero Loves Akita says, I'll unsubscribe from Netflix if they do Summer anything. Kathy says she can't imagine that. Mamie says, if what Grandis said about Summer is being unresponsive is true, I don't know how no one was arrested. Truth Seeker says she'd be getting some cats for the rats. Yeah. Or some traps. Or have somebody come out. Collie Golightly says, yes, Dawn is going to Utah. So let's talk a little bit about the Brian Laundrie case, and then we'll do some more Summer Wells stuff. Collie Golightly said, yes, Dawn is going to Utah. And Rhiannon Evans says, I had rats in my house as the main sewer line was fractured. Wow, that must have been horrifying. Must have been horrifying. Kay Sloan says, I don't think Dawn can sell that property because it's to be passed on. And Jakey5 says 3 charges are going ahead in Utah, which have been accepted. So I think they will wait until he gets discharged from jail and then rearrest him as soon as he walks out the front door. Oh my gosh. I hope you're right, Jakey. I hope you're right. Silver Tongue Slacker says, my cat was scared of them. On Monday, before I forget to tell you, we are starting Munchausen Monday series. We're doing Munchausen by proxy cases. And we're going to do our first case that we're going to start is the Gypsy Rose Dee Dee Blanchard case. And we're doing Munchausen Murder Mondays. And that's going to be the first case. And we're going to do a deep dive into the case. And I'm really excited to do it. And after I put out the video on Monday, we're going to have another interactive live stream, just like today, where we come on and we chit chat about the case together. So we're going to do the case video comes out at 5 p.m. and then we're going straight into a live stream right after that. So let's talk a little bit about Brian Laundrie and the Brian Laundrie letter, and then we will go back to Summer Wells in a few minutes. So let's talk about the Brian Laundrie letter. So we know. And I meant to read you a little bit of Don Wells's self-serving letter. I do think it was probably dictated to Tim Mullen by the phone. I could be wrong. It could be Don printed it, but the fact that it's signed Summer Father and not Don Wells is kind of odd. I would think he would just sign his own name. So in his letter, he writes, not only have you broken Summer's heart and taken her away from her mother and father who love her very much, but you ruined her chances to become educated, ruining her life. You see, the public blames us, Don wrote, and I don't know if we will ever find employment again. And this is why I think they're after the money or some kind of money. Because why would you bring up your employment? No one will hire my wife, and I've been fired from the job I've had for 13 years. And he says more about how he and Candus are losing out on this whole thing. He does ask for Summer's return, and he says, "We may end up losing everything. When you took our little girl, you took our very lives." And then the media manager wrote on YouTube that another letter addressed to Summer was expected to be made public. And then the TBI, they declined to comment on the letter. So I thought that was kind of interesting on the letter. So now let's talk about the Brian Laundrie letter for a second, and then we'll go back to Don Wells in a second. But I do want to talk about that because I was sick when all this was happening. But he said that Brian Laundrie's letter was extremely self-serving, in my opinion. I did not feel sympathy for him. If anything, it made me feel more repulsed by him. Um, but he wrote, "I don't know the extent of Gabby's injuries, only that she was in extreme pain." So Brian wants us to believe that he just was helping Gabby out of extreme pain. Are you buying that? And he wrote, "I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, that it was what she wanted. But I see now all the mistakes I made. I panicked. I was in shock. But from the moment I decided took away her pain, I knew I couldn't go on without her." Yeah. And then he wrote, quote, "Rushed home to spend my time I had left with my family." And he said he wanted to, quote, "drive north and let James or TJ do something to him." Watching my words here. "But I wouldn't want them to spend time in jail over my mistake, even though I'm sure they would have." What Gabby's family said was just, they were just like incensed by this letter, this confession letter. He does confess to doing it, but very self-serving, in my opinion. What do you guys think? And they just said the fact that Patrick Riley, he's the attorney for the Petito Schmidt family. He said that the Laundries claim that killing Gabby was merciful and stemmed from a tragic accident is nonsense. And he said he's writing the letter as though he wants people to feel sorry for him, adding that there was nothing that could make Gabby Petito's family, quote, "feel better about it." So I hope they sue the pants off of Chris and Roberta Laundrie. Um, and I thought that the letter was extremely self-serving. I don't buy it for a second. I think he was sneaky with those text messages that were from Gabby's phone. He was buying himself time to get back to Florida. So my question is, do you think Roberta and Chris Laundrie knew what happened to Gabby when Brian got home? Because I find it hard to believe that his parents didn't know, that they knew. Nobody asked why he came home driving Gabby's van with Gabby's cell phone, but without Gabby. And Gabby had lived with Chris and Roberta Laundrie for a couple of years. I just find it impossible to believe that they would have just said, "So where's Gabby?" And he would have been like, "Oh, she's enjoying the van life trip without her van, which I have, without her phone." And then the fact that, Gabby's parents were trying to get in touch with them and they blocked them on Facebook and didn't answer messages, texts on the phone, or text on the phone, to me is very shady, very, very suspicious. Um, and Anna D says, yeah, if what happened to Gabby was an accident, why didn't they seek medical help? Yeah. I mean, if that's what you would do, we're not talking about like a horse. We're talking about a human being. Of course, you would call 911. Of course you would. Any normal person would call 911. It's the same thing with, what happened to Summer. If, I do think it was some kind of an accident, but I don't think it was, I think it was related to some kind of culpable negligence, in my opinion. If not, why wouldn't you just call 911? Why wouldn't you just call? So Silver Tongue Soccer says, no doubt, I don't buy that. Juanita says, my abducted child's education would be the last thing I would be worried about. Oh, in response to Don Wells' letter. Yeah, he's worried about Summer's education. I don't think Don and Candace were worried about Summer's education. I don't think they were worried about the boys' education. That didn't seem like their priority. We saw Don multiple times on multiple YouTube channels, not sober. And this did not look like two parents who were trying to get their kids back. Vibes just caught you. Glad you're back. 100%. I'm so glad too, guys. I am too. I hope you guys stay safe. The one thing I would say from just going through what I went through is the one little bit of advice that I would give is that if you have to go to the emergency room, they are super busy. So if you have to go to the emergency room, make sure, especially if you're going in there for being short of breath, for coughing, for being sick, you may not have the energy to advocate for yourself. I would definitely advise bringing someone along with you, a family member or a friend, someone strong enough to advocate on your behalf. Not somebody who's like, a little bit more timid and soft-spoken. I would find somebody who's like a pit bull in your family or friends and see if you can get them to come with you or meet you there so that you have someone that's advocating for you. Because when I was getting treatment, I found out that the person that was writing the orders for me to decide what they were going to do next had not even reviewed my labs. Why draw blood and do labs if you're not going to review them? It was really, really shady. And I don't think they were trying to be unkind or whatever. I just think they were overwhelmed and super in a hurry and, rushing. And so I had asked, luckily, for the nurse to read me my labs when the nurse was in the room. But when the nurse practitioner, this is or doctor's physician assistant, this is like a nurse with either a PhD or a master's degree, and I can't remember which one. But that was who was treating me because the doctor was probably slammed. So the hospitals are busy, the emergency rooms are busy. So get someone who can advocate for you and help keep you safe, because you do deserve that. I did miss you guys a lot. It kind of gave me a chance to sit down and write out some things for the YouTube channel, though, even though I didn't have, enough oxygen to go on. My next video, I put one out today on Summer Wells. If you haven't seen it when we're done here, I would ask that you go look at it. And then on Monday, we're going to do the Munchausen Monday weekly series. And that's going to be followed up with an interactive live stream just like this. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when I go live. Rianne Evans says, I have no idea, to be determined. She's talking to be. And May says, do they have 3 strikes in Utah? Is it 3 separate times or each offense? They do have 3 strikes. And I think that he will be 3 strikes and you're out. I do think he is looking at 20 years to life. DTC Primetime said he couldn't carry her. She was like 100 pounds. Are you talking about Gabby? Yeah. But he could have called 911, right? In my opinion, Truth Seeker says they knew. Cheryl Lovato said, Brian's parents knew when they went on that trip. I'm sure he told them. Brian was 100% bogus. He wanted the world to think he was a hero instead of a zero. Bravo, Charlotte. I think that's exactly right. Kay Sloan said, Don's letter to me makes them look guilty. Gail Swift Fernandez says, Jessica, we miss you. I missed you too, Gail. I did. I missed you guys. It was so hard to just sit quietly. Energy Shots is here. Yay. Hi, Energy Shots. Energy Shots says here, and if it's the end, I'm happy to be here. Very nice to see you. I'm glad to see you too, Energy Shots. I've missed you. Juanita says he Oh, I can't say that on the air. He did something to her and then stole her van and her money, shows her contempt for her. Her parents also treated Gabby and his parents also treated Gabby and her folks with contempt. I think so too. Energy Shot says 20 years to life for Don sounds good. And AMBH, I don't know what that says. It's in italics. Says, I think I have an idea who was involved in Summer's disappearance based on psychic clues and research. What do you guys think about the psychics that have gotten involved in this case? Do you think that it's all hocus pocus? Do you believe in ESPA? Do you think that, what do you think? Do you think there are some people who are more intuitive than others? I know that some people do not believe in psychics at all, and I other people that really swear by them. Rianne says Dawn remains in jail, and allegedly Dawn wrote the letter from jail, and she's talking to Suzanne. And Daydream Believer says they retained their lawyer on September 2nd. And Superhero Loves Akito says they never got wedding licenses notarized. So is that a law? Do you have to have your wedding license notarized in Tennessee or no? It's Amber. Oh, thanks, Amber. Amber with H's. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Now that you said that, I can read that. I couldn't quite make out what the little middle part said in there in the letter. So welcome. AJ says DS has been right before down to the detail. Who is DS? Is that Donna Serafina? I love her. Would love to interview her and learn more about it. Well, on that note, I'm going to end it. If you have not seen my video, I put out a video today on Summer Wells. Please go watch it now. And if you are in any kind of Facebook groups or Reddit, please feel free to share this or the new Summer Wells video with your groups. I would really appreciate it. It's hard to come back after being out for a number of weeks, but I am so happy to be back. I have another video already loaded up onto YouTube that's coming out on Monday about for our Munchausen Monday series. And I'm super excited to get that out to you guys. I hope that you enjoy the video. And right after that video, which we're going to do as a premiere, we're going right into a live stream so that we can talk about it together. If you are not familiar with the Dee Dee Blanchard, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Munchausen murder case, oh my gosh, it is the craziest case with so many twists and turns. You will not believe it. It is so bizarre. And I'm like super interested to hear what your opinion is on that case, because I just think it's so weird. And then we're going to be doing Munchausen Monday as a series for a little while. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy that. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the live stream on Monday, which is tomorrow. So Teresita Hills is here in Case Loan. Case Loan says 3 of the psychics have been on. And Teresita says, I believe reputable psychics. So does our military, or so I've read. And Jakey5 says, yes, Donna Serafina is the only one so far that has any credibility, in my opinion. Marian Landis says, familiar with that case. Juanita says, a real psychic is very rare. Reverend Donna is one of the few. I've heard so many good things about her. I would love to have her as a guest on the show. Energy Shots says, thanks for everything. Looking forward to more. Superhero Loves Akita says, it's not lottery money, guys. There are local and state laws that decide where it goes. Yeah, I think it's going to be a judge that determines where it's going to go. Sandra Smith says, first time watching your video. We'll enjoy many more to come. Welcome, Sandra. And then Charlotte Lovato says, hello to Energy Shots. Well, on that note, I'm asking that you give this video a thumbs up on your way out to help me with the YouTube algorithm. Please watch my video on Dawn Wells and the letter. It's just about 4 minutes long, so it's short, but it really helps out the channel. And if you want to share it into any of the chat rooms that you're in, I would really appreciate it. I'm I have been out for a few weeks, so I'm just really anxious to get up and going and get the channel back on track. So Rianne says you can email Donna and ask her. I actually did, Rianne. I did email Donna and invite her on the show. I did, and we'll send her another one. So hopefully we'll get her on. Energy Shot. Thank you, Rianne. Rianne always has great ideas. Energy Shot says hello to Charlotte. And Truth Seeker is glad you're back. I'm glad I'm back too. Vanessa Hall is here. Nice to have you. Thank you, Vanessa. And Suzanne says, have a nice rest of your Sunday, everyone. All right. So on that note, please give this video a thumbs up on your way out. And I will see you guys next time, which is tomorrow for Munchausen Monday. And love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Love you guys.